What's up, everybody? It's Jason from Straight Edge Knives, and I got a noisy bird right above me. I don't think he likes me being under this tree doing this video, but he will get over it. So anyway, I am actually filming this on Christmas Day, so if you're seeing this today, Merry Christmas. If you see this afterwards, I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holiday. And today, we're going over a Stroup Knives. Stroup Knives sent this over to me to check out and give a review on, and hey, that's what we're going to do. I've had this for a few days now, or actually I've had it for about a week and a half now. I've carried it around a little bit. I really like it. It's a cool blade. I really like the design of it, the looks of it, and let's get into it so you guys can see what we're talking about here. So pretty much when you get a knife from Stroup Knives, it's going to come in a box like this, made in the USA. The veteran-owned, family-operated, as you can see here, out of Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Got the website on there. Nice, just cardboard box, but I like the flag and everything on there. When you open it up, you're going to have your blade in there. You'll have this card with like a QR code. Takes you to their website, stuff like that. Had a bunch of Stroup knife stickers in here. I don't know if you'll get that many in your box normally, but I got a bunch. And you got this kind of cool little paper stuff to help protect the blade. So we'll set that off to the side. And here we have the Stroup Knives TU1. Comes with a nice Kydex sheath with a Tech-Lock clip. And, Tech-Lock, you can flip that open, squeeze these, open up, put it on your belt. You can actually have these two little pieces you can move around to adjust your belt size. It's a great clip system. Excuse me. And you can set it up for either vertical carry, or you can take it off and then, turn it sideways for like scout carry. And that's just like one of the many ways you can carry this. I don't know why I had a brain fart right there. I was trying to think of what I was going to say. There are a few different other options you could probably do if you don't like the Tech-Lock clips. Like for me, the way this Tech-Lock's set up, when it rides on my belt, it rides really high, and I typically like my stuff to ride a little lower. But there's a few different things you can do to change that if you wanted to. But the sheaths are really nice. Each sheath is actually made for each specific knife. So this, if you grabbed another TU1 and shoved it in here, it might not fit correctly. So these are custom made sheaths for each individual knife. And man, the retention on them is fantastic. I mean, there's like no rattling or nothing like that. And I mean, this knife is in there so secure. Like, you really got to get in here and yank that sucker out, which is cool because this knife was designed to be for military police applications, self-defense or self-preservation, as I like to call it, applications. This, they're making these knives for people to take into battle. At least that's the way I look at these blades. And so this thing is designed to keep that knife on you in, some of the most extreme situations. One thing I would like to maybe see on the sheath is a little bit more of a thumb ramp to assist in actually, it does have a little bit of one, but it would be nice just to have a little bit more of a raised thumb ramp to help pop that out. That's just a personal preference. It doesn't, I mean, there's still nothing wrong with the sheath. I'm going to use it. But let's look at this blade. And this is what's really cool is Stroup Knives has their own style. And if you look at their website and look at all their knives, they all have this really cool acid washed rock like kind of texture to them. And look at this G10 handle scales. They're all sculpted out beautifully. This is awesome. I mean, it's just such a cool ass looking blade. And they got their logo right there. Let me give you guys the details on this, and we'll get into some of the testing. I do want to go over a couple of things you can do with a sheath if you wanted to change up the carry option as well. But I'll show you guys that here in a minute. But this is the Stroup Knives TU1. They have a TU2 and a TU3. The TU3 has more of a sack style blade. But the overall length on this is 9.25 inches. The blade length is 4.5 inches. It's a 1095 steel clip point blade with a flat grind. It's got an acid wash finish. The handle is 4.25 inches. You have G10 handle materials, and these come in various different colors as well. The weight of the knife is 6.7 ounces. With the sheath, you're probably, in the Tech-Lock, you're probably looking at maybe 10 ounces or so. It didn't give me a total. I don't have a total weight with the sheath, but I'm probably looking at like 10 to 12 ounces total with the sheath. That's being probably on the high side. It might be a little less than that, but definitely a slick blade. It's got this nice kind of curve here to lock your handle in. Now I wear XL gloves and mechanics gloves, and this goes, my finger goes right, my pinky kind of slides right in here, as you can see, and my index finger comes right up to the choil here. And now if I'm hammer fisting this grip like this, it's not uncomfortable. I do know that I can tell that my hand is literally taking up the whole grip, which is fine, but it's not uncomfortable. If I kind of put it right across this part of my hand and closing in and rest my thumb, it feels like it gives it a little bit more room, but it's not uncomfortable. Holding it either way is not uncomfortable. Where I really feel like this knife shines is when you reverse grip it. Man, when you put it in your reverse grip, this just feels like this is the way it's supposed to be carried, which it could be. I haven't talked to Chris Stroup exactly about, the design intentions, but man, this feels very, very good right here. With the way this rolls over, your thumb walks in here. I mean, you can get some nice, it feels really good that way. But it feels really good this way too. So, I mean, if you have bigger hands than me and you're like wear double X gloves, this might be a little too small for your hand. Just being honest, I always try to be honest in my reviews. But XL and smaller, you're fine. Double XL, if you got big old Andre the Giant meat paws, yeah, this is not going to fit in your hand very well. But one of the other cool things I do like about this little swoop down here is, if you had to come back here and do some light chopping with it, it's not a chopper, but if you had to do some light chopping, you can kind of lock your finger in right here and give you a little bit extra for the little swinging chops. And I'll do some of that in my testing video here in a second. But one of the things I did want to talk to you about on the sheath is, if you, like I said, don't like the tech lock or how high it rides, you can always go with an ulti clip or something to that effect. But one of the things I've come across is, where I live at in California, you can pretty much carry any size knife you want as long as it's not concealed. And so one of the things I've found that works really well is, if you know a sheath maker or a leather guy, or you can even probably do it yourself, you can get a sheath and have them basically make a leather piece like this that will go all the way around and snaps on like so. So you see it comes all the way around. But what's cool is, when you carry it, you can add a secondary piece like this to give you a drop down kind of leather. Let me zoom this back out a little bit. Oh, no, that's too far. There we go. You can wear it like a drop down. It'll drop it down leather. Or you can literally take this piece off and you can run your belt through and scout carry still. So it's just another option. Or this is a very similar concept. It's almost the same concept, except instead of being snapped on, this is screwed on, but you could do it as a snap as well. But this one has pretty much, you can run a smaller size belt, or if you have a bigger belt, you could probably have the person make a bigger loop for a belt, but then you can also still add a dangler. So you can run this either as a belt loop dangler, or even with this on, you could still run it kind of scout carry. So just a couple of different options to show. I thought I'd show those off. Typically with Kydex sheaths, I mean, a lot of times guys make really great Kydex. It's just, like I said, this runs a little high for me. So I'll send the sheath to somebody and have them do something like this for me. So it works out really well in that regard. But I just wanted to show you guys that as an option. But hey, man, we're getting on to 10 minutes in this video. We want to see some testing. And yes, guys, we're going to take this thing to the zombie Christmas chicken. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Let me pause this, get it flipped around, and let's get to some testing. All right, guys, we are back. Okay, so here we go. We got the TU1, right? We talked about it. Should do up close. Beautiful knife. Very cool. And again, I feel like this is designed more for self-preservation style stuff. I don't even know what I'm doing here. It looks kind of cool. Some John Wickish, Steven Seagal type stuff, but I feel it's like a more self-preservation, survival type knife. I wouldn't necessarily call this like a bushcraft knife by any means. I mean, although you can do some bushcrafty stuff with it if you needed to. But I mean, it's definitely thick enough to be doing some of that stuff. But it's to me, it's more of a combat knife, if you will. I could be wrong on that, and if I am, Chris Stroup, I apologize. But I mean, come on, this thing's badass, man. It's pow, you know, do some pokey stabby stuff. Well, this does kind of flare down right here on the grip, so actually, if you needed the pinch grip up here on the blade, do some little bit finer work. That's pretty cool. But anyway, let's get into it. So got some cardboard here. Now this, from what I was told, this is like somewhere like a 28 to 30 degree edge. So it's not going to be like the super sliceiest knife. It's definitely got more of a robust edge to it for, like I said, those kind of combat utility actions. So it's not going to be necessarily the sliciest knife, but you can see there, I can come in here and I can slice off. This cardboard's kind of wet because it's been raining here lately. But you can do some slices. For stabbing, I think this thing's going to excel. This is about 3/4 of an inch thick catalog here. So going to flip it over to that comfortable reverse grip. Bam. Come right through. Right there's the tip. Went all the way through into my log a little bit. You can see that right there. But definitely goes all the way through this catalog. I'm not even really putting too much force into it. And there's a tip all the way through again. I think the only thing that's really stopping this from going deeper through the catalog is the fact that I'm hitting my stump. So definitely a stabby knife. Let's check this tip though. It did go through the catalog and into the stump. The tip is still good. No issues. No, it's not deformed or bent. Still sharp. Let's got the leather belt here. Again, you're parachuting into a non-permissive environment and you get caught up in a tree and you gotta, I don't know, cut your belt off so you can fall out of the tree. Making stuff up here, guys, but come in here. I already kind of sliced that one down the middle. Let's go right here. Bam. Kind of cut right through the belt. No problem. Cut another slice off. Do like a push cut right through it. There you go. You can easily cut through a leather belt if you needed to. I need that over here. Sorry. Let's say you got some rope you got to cut. So here we got the old poly rope. So I'm curious to see with this 28 to 30 degree edge, like, you know, how well it's going to cut through this rope. I might have to saw it through a little bit, but it might slice right through too. We never know. We'll see. Not bad. I mean, I had to, you know, move it just a little bit, but did a nice clean cut through that poly rope. So that's good. You guys know that poly rope is a pain in the butt to cut, and come in here, lay it on the log, kind of come through and do a little saw cut right through it. No problem. Had to work it a little bit. Like I said, this isn't the sliciest, like razor edge. I mean, it's sharp, don't get me wrong, but it's, I think it's, like I said, designed to be more robust for, you know, combat applications, if you will. If you had to go through, I don't know why I have an ink pen right here, but I do. You had to go through and cut up some jean material. You know, I got some old pants here. Blew the crotch out on them. Don't ask me how. But, you know, you had to come in, cut a pair of pant leg off. Slicing it right there, no problem. Gotta come in here. I got them all bunched up, so gonna come in, cut them off, stab through it, cut right through it, stabbing through it, no problem. Just cut this leg off. Kind of, you can actually hold it reverse too. This part digs into your hand a little bit, but it's not super bad, where you can actually pull it through. There, cut that part of the pant leg off, set that to the side. Again, you had to come in, cut through, stab through, do some slices like that. Had to make some strips to make some sort of makeshift paracord or something. You could do that. We'll get over here to the old extension cord. So with this edge, I'm not imagining it's going to slice through this very easily. Like I said, it's not designed to be a slicey edge, but I always like to do it anyway, just to see if I can. Bam! Had to work it a little bit, but right there, cut right through it. pretty damn clean. If you had to come in here and do some, like, you know, chop little chunks of this extension cord off, you could, like I said, choke back a little bit, kind of do a little whip chops. Bam, there it goes flying off, no problem. Nice little clean. Do that again. Bam, there goes another one. So you give it a little whack, give it a nice little clean whip chop there. Now, if you had to get into, oh, almost forgot. Got the old kind of, it's a thin kind of hose, plastic hose, like a pull hose, if you will. If you had to cut that, like, you know, your radiator hose or something like that, you know, kind of come in here, cut you a piece off, no problem. Take the tip, stick it in there. You could actually roll, kind of do like a roll cut, if you will. Cut you a piece off, so no problem doing that. You know, like I said, you're out in the field, you know, you're working on these old school military trucks or something, you know, radiator hoses pop out in the middle of the desert. Got to cut some off and make you a new hose. You know, you can come in there and do that. Now, you get into, here we go. So this is a air hose that I have that cracked and busted on me. You can see that right there. So I figured, hey, let's do some cutting on this thing. It's trashed anyway. So, you know, air hose, this stuff's pretty tough. This is a, what, 3/8 foot air hose. So it's probably reinforced with something in here. I don't know if it's still belted, but let's come in here and cut this piece out. There we go. That's pretty tough stuff, man. Yeah, it's got some sort of a nylon or something in there, I think, to help reinforce it. But if you had to cut this air hose, you could do that. Got to work it a little bit. I think if you want to slice your edge, you could probably easily take this down to a 25 and still be okay and still have a lot of toughness and strength in it. But, you know, come in here, if you had to kind of do that little whip chop too on this, you can. Bam. There goes. Piece went flying off that way. There goes another piece. My son's going to love finding all these little chunks of plastic in the lawn when he goes to mow it. Set that to the side. Bam. Now you're stuck out there. All your hose maintenance on your truck didn't work. Now you got to make a fire because you got to stay warm for the night. So find yourself a stick here. You're going to make some fire curls. Like I said, it's not necessarily designed to be a bushcrafty knife, but you could definitely do some feather sticking and fire curls with this knife. Show you guys a stick here, man. Look at that. That came out really good. Not bad at all. Let's say you had to turn this into a steak, you know, you got some chupacabra vampire dogs coming at you because you're out in the desert. Come in here, make you a steak spear, if you will, if you need to. Maybe do some spear fishing, make a tent steak, take care of Nosferatu, you know, whatever you need to do. You can easily come in here and slice off pieces. And, you know, these are pretty good little slices, too. You can even do these down in an area. You can use those to help make your fire as well. So you can easily make a tent steak, if you will. Yeah, too, you can come in here, choke back a little bit, kind of do those little light chops, if you will. Help make your spear a little faster. Kind of whittle it down. Then you can kind of, once you get it down there, you can kind of come in and thin it out a little bit more and make it a little bit more acute point. You know, something like that if you needed to. So you can do that if no problem if you need to. And let's say, well, like I said, it's not necessarily a batoning knife. So we got this, what is this? 3/4 by 1 foot square kind of dowel. So if you had to do some, I don't know, light batoning with it, I think you could do that. Let's take this right here. We're going to put this right on top of this wood dowel. We're going to give it a few whackaroos. Bam. Kind of went through, kind of broke off right there, but you can see But let's check this edge. There is no rolling, chipping. I don't see any glinting. This tip is still fine. So you had to do some light batoning with it. You could. Find it. I wouldn't be trying to hammer through any giant, massive pieces of wood, but you could do something like here's a chunk right here, kind of come on top. This stuff's wet, so I ran into this problem the other day with the stick. Is as I was batoning through, because it was wet, it almost like as the wood was splitting, as the blade went through, it like sucked in around, and it was a pain in the butt. It was kind of weird, but you had to come through here and break some of these pieces down a little bit more. You could do it, no problem. Again, with this 4-inch blade, I wouldn't necessarily be batoning through anything massive, like it, because you're just gonna have a hard time because you're not gonna have enough real estate to hit the head on it, But you can do some light batoning with it, and let's say you needed a stick to check this edge here. Edges. I mean, with this edge angle degree, the degree with the edge angle, it's no problem. But you might need to chop some limbs off or something. So how much can we? This is a decently thick piece of like citrus wood. Let's do a little bit of light whip chopping just to see how the edge holds up and see like what kind of how far we can get into this with we'll do a few hits and we'll see where we get, right? So you could also do this if you needed to make like a notch. Like I kind of almost made a notch right there, but yeah, you could definitely do some chopping. You are going to have to put a little bit more work into it because the weight of the blade and the blade shape, it's not designed to be a chopper. But as you can see there, you could get through something with a little bit of time and a little bit of work. But let's say you needed to make a notch to rest another log in, you could kind of start doing that chopping, get it partially way there, and then you could probably come in here, kind of scoop out the things and even it out, make it a little bit smoother, make it a more of a cleaner notch if you needed to. Like I said, kind of doing that pinch grip, I can come in here and kind of start in here, roll the knife through like this and scrape out the pieces and kind of make yourself a cleaner notch. So there are some bushcrafting capabilities to it, but it's not necessarily a bushcraft blade. It is a combat style blade. And for some combat style stuff, we're going to have to pull out the zombie chicken. So let's get to that, guys, because I know everybody loves to see the zombie chicken. So stand by. Let me get this set up. Oh, what's going on here? Let me get this set up. I heard some yelling over here. Let me get threw me off. Let me get the zombie chicken set up, and we'll show you guys what the TU1's really designed to do. Stand by. All right, guys. I got the camera set up a little bit closer so you can get a better view of the knife doing the work that it's designed to do. So you're going to see me standing up like this. You're not really going to see my head, but that's okay. You don't want to see this ugly mug. You want to see the TU1 do what it does on the old zombie chicken right here. Hopefully I don't knock this off my hook, but let's turn this around this way. So we got the old chicken wing right there. We're going to see what we can take that off. I'm not even going to go hard, guys. I'm just going to go right. Here we go. Ready? Here we go. Bam. Look at that. Right into the, sliced it right there. I kind of missed the bone, but it sliced it right down this. Bone's right here in the back. Kind of whacking that. You see that right there? Keep missing that bone. There you go. Chunk of bone off. Actually slipped down. Kind of got down here when I missed. See, we can't take this leg off. We kind of come in here, do a swipe and cut. Oh, went a little low there. Took off the foot. You see that? No problem. Kind of cut right through that thigh. You can see there. Boy, I got to work on my aim, guys. Come here. Bam. Look at that. Cut through that skin. Took that bone off. There's the other piece of the bone. Come in here. Let's see if we can get a little better aim here, guys, and kind of knock the whole chicken off. Stand by. Let me pick this back up. Now we got dirty chicken. Got one glove on, so sometimes when I'm doing this, I got to try to be careful that I don't hit that metal, though, too. But let's go. Bam, right there. Show you guys this. Look at that clean cut right there on the bone. Right through the bone. Took that leg off, no problem. Swing around here. Oh, I did get that chicken wing off there. Now, for your slicing cut through a thick medium, obviously we have the nice breast here. So we're going to I'm just coming down the dangle cut. Actually, I'm going to flip it around. I'm going to come across like this. Because, like I said, this feels really good this way. So I want to see what we can do. Not bad, although I did kind of miss it. I'm not used to swinging a knife this way. So let's try that again. Woo, I just caught it with the tip. Started right here. And as it came all the way through, as my arm swung through, it really opened up right there. So I'm not a knife fighter or anything like that. So it's kind of weird for me to swing like that. So let's flip it back to its regular size grip. And oh my goodness. Look at that. See, when I'm doing what I'm supposed to do right, it excels. Look at that. Look at that cut. So that cut, let me grab the camera here. We'll flip this around for you guys. You don't have to see my ugly bug. But look at that. That one slice went all the way. I don't know if you can see it in there. Slice the backbone cleanly. There's like one little spot in there that's holding that up. I'm going to keep the camera facing this way. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm doing all right. There's the knife again. Let's come in. I'm going to come in another backhanded swing. Look at that. Cut right through down to there. Look at that. Sliced. Came in and sliced all this open right here. Got the spine right here, so just whack that off. Nice gross chunks of chicken there. Come in here. Do a little. Look at that. I mean, that wasn't even hard. That was just a little whoop. But look, you can see where it cut that spine right here. Nice and clean. Man, so this TU1 with this edge design with a 28-30 degree edge is definitely a wicked little slicer. Definitely cut in through some medius type material and make short work of it. All right, guys. So one other thing I wanted to show you was this is frozen beef fat, or it's literally just beef fat and skin. It's frozen. I kind of nailed it to this board just to have something to hold it while I swing at it, so I'm not holding it and swinging at my hand. But I mean, this is frozen. Look at that slice right there. Look. Cutting right through this. Look at this. No problem. They come in here and stab it. No problem. I mean, little slices through that. Come in here. Cut right through. Look at that. Badass. All right, guys, we're back. Sorry, I got my camera a little closer than normal. Whew. Well, guys, as you can tell, the TU1 is designed to be very effective against zombie chickens and crazy cow beef fat and skin that is reanimated through some crazy biological thing that, you know, comes after you. Guys, the TU1 is a badass American-made blade. Something I forgot to mention earlier. These are, you know, from what talking to Stroup Knives at Blade Show West. These blades are they're water jet cutted out, the basic shape, but after that, everything else is done by hand. So you're getting damn near a handmade knife with every one of these knives, and they're all made in the USA, veteran-owned company. You can't go wrong with that. So, guys, go check out Stroup Knives. I'll have a link to their website below. I believe you can pick these up at, I think there's a few places you can pick these up at. Check your favorite local knife buying place. They probably carry Stroup knives. I'll find some and I'll put links to those as well. But multiple models, guys. Badass blades. They're bound to have something that'll fit your needs. But I'm about damn near positive this is going to go onto my gun belt. This thing is badass. I like it. And guys, I got another Stroup knife coming that I bought. As soon as I get that in, we're going to be doing a video on that one as well. But this is really cool, guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Again, I hope you had a great holiday. If you're watching this after Christmas, I hope you had a great holiday. Hope all your future holidays are great. And I really thank you. I appreciate you all watching, supporting the channel. And I look forward to bringing you more content here in the future. Thank you, Chris and Rambo over at Stroup, for sending this to me. I appreciate it. I really love the blade. It's just wicked, and we'll see you all soon. Stay safe, stay sharp, and you know, I don't know where I was going to go with that. Stay safe, stay sharp. Have a good one.